Democratic Party ran on funding the police more in 2020, right? And this is why I told people why we can't vote for Joe Biden. Because on the debate stage, he was making the argument that the Democratic Party is the pro-police party, that Donald Trump and the Republicans wanted to defund the police. So despite this, Black Lives Matter was like blinders, earmuffs, and pretended they wasn't hearing anything they was saying on campaign trail. And they still endorsed him. They still celebrate his victory. And then when Biden and them took office, they started to do what? They started to fund the police more, exactly like they said they was going to do. Then activists started to complain. And then you guys want to know the message of the Biden administration? I covered this a long time ago. The message of the Biden administration was like, guys, we ran on funding the police more. So you guys voted for us, so we had to mandate to fund the police more. And that is how politicians always work, always think. They don't give a fuck if you like them or dislike them. The idea that they do is an unbelievably childish political analysis. Do you think Joe Biden on Twitter like, oh my God, the people being mean to me? The only thing they care about is if you vote for them or not. They don't care if these fucking peasant workers don't like them. They already don't think anything of you. So why do you think they care if they like you or not? The only thing they care about, if you go into that booth and fill that check mark with a D or R. Right? D for Democrat, R for Republican. If you vote for their team, they could care less if they have 15% approval rating, 20% approval rating. They would say, well, and this is what centrist Democrats do all the time. They would say, well, if progressive ideas are popular, why do voters keep supporting moderate Democrats? Because if they see you as voting for them as permission to keep going. So if you are Sam Cedar and you want to change the country in a more progressive way, how does it make sense to give your vote away to them? And remember, before the election, I was making the prediction, and I got a stream I'm preparing. I'm going to show you guys all the predictions I got right. I predicted Joe Biden escalating against Iran. I'm gonna break that down here soon. I predicted everything that Joe Biden has done in his administration, all his failed promises. I knew he was going to be just like Trump on foreign policy, on immigration. I can show you guys that. People thought I was being a doomer. And one of the reasons why I made that prediction was because I saw how easily the progressives fold. They endorsed him 6 months before the fucking general election. So I was like, okay, Biden has no pressure on the left. Even if he did, he would still go crazy. But so not only do he have no pressure on the left, you have the entire left endorsing him, pretending he's something he's not. So that spelled a recipe for disaster. Now, a lot of left-leaning people are running around like a chicken with their head cut off. I can't believe Biden not doing this. I can't believe Biden is this bad. This is what happens when you swear your allegiance to a party without any concessions, which the quote-unquote dumb left, as Sam Cedar calls, this is what we was asking. I would never vote for Joe Biden, right? But my criticism of Bernie and his wing, and once again, CJ, we can do it both ways. I don't think you should vote for Joe Biden, right? You shouldn't vote for Joe Biden. But if you was going to vote for Joe Biden, let's think about the way you should have done it. Me personally, if I vote for Joe Biden, I am keeping that shit to the grave until literally the election day. And I'm like, yo, if you guys don't get Medicare for all, if you guys don't support a Green New Deal, if you guys don't support decreasing police budget, I'm not voting for you. I'm not supporting you. Fuck Joe Biden. The whole time, fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Joe Biden.
Yep.
And then the election comes, like, God damn it. I'll cave. But by doing that, you put maximum pressure. And then you get people like, oh shit, we got to give them something so they can vote for us. Meanwhile, what they did, it was like, we're going to vote for Joe Biden no matter what. So Joe Biden went to the door and was like, bro, we got this, bro. We got this. And that was happening. What Sam Cedar in his ideology won, meaning this is the ideology that the left followed. The left didn't listen to me. The left listened to me. We would have the Green Party. You have multiple third parties hitting that 5% threshold so we can get funding. The Green Party got like 0.3%. People's Party nowhere to be seen. Libertarian Party didn't hit threshold. So they didn't listen to me. The left listened to Sam Cedar and his ideology, and now look at the state of the working class. Look at the state of the working class after we decided to not have our votes as a form of expression, right? Sorry, go ahead, CJ.
No, that's all good. I was just looking for the clip because the clip of the girl, I'll bring it up, the girl that's being interviewed after Roe v. Wade is overturned, and she has this great critique of the Democratic Party, and they're terrible. Yeah, I'm going to end up voting for them anyway. Why would they do anything different? Why would they do anything different then? I can't find a clip.
Whenever you criticize them and then you end it with I'm gonna vote for the men, where they're like, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. Thank you for your little complaint. You know, shoot, go somewhere. You know, they could not give a shit. Why do you think they are extremely upset and they melt down over Susan Sarandon, right? But they don't get mad at someone who like criticizes Democrats every once in a while. Like Democrats, like there's celebrities that'll criticize Democrats all the time. But what is your message every 2 years? Susan Sarandon message is tell them fuck you. We're not voting for you. So other people, they will criticize Democrats, but they're like, oh come on, man. You know I don't like Democrats, but the Republicans are worse. So they don't care. They don't care. Why kid to them?
What else could people do, Nick? So if they're leaving the Democratic Party, of course they're not going to vote for the Republican Party. It's almost like people don't understand that there's other options.
That's when they get stuck in that. That's when they get stuck in that ridiculous loop that only brainwashed Americans fall for, where people are like, well, if both parties don't represent workers and they both criminals, what should we do? And that's when we're like, hey, how about we support a third party, because third parties only need 5% threshold, and we need to start the movement right now. Even if we don't win right now, we can start the movement so we can continue to build and we can create real change. Then they're like, well, that would never happen. Third parties will never win. Now I'm like, oh, okay. So if everyone who was pissed off and everyone who had that thought like you did vote for a third party, our plan would be a success. But that's years of propaganda. People will just be like, oh, third parties can't win. There's no reason to fight outside of the Democratic and Republican Party. If everyone who had that thought just fucking went for it, we'll be in a way better position.
Way better position right now.
It's literally just that simple. It's just that simple. If everyone who like, oh my God, third party can win, just fucking did it, just supported third parties instead of allowing nihilism to get over them. Like, I'm not saying they will win, but we'll get 5%.
But I mean, we would have already hit 5% if Bernie Sanders would have just made one simple different decision in 2016 when they gypped him, and then he just said, I'm running as, when Jill Stein said, hey, come be part of the top of the ticket over here, and he said no to that. When Chris Hedges was begging him, when Kashama Sawant was saying, hey, run, third party, take this movement over there, this movement is ready to go, and he said, no, I don't want to be like Ralph Nader.
Bernie is at least getting on the debate stage. 5% is a giant mountain decline for a random independent candidate, right?
Yeah.
But if you Bernie Sanders, who got the most individual donations out of any candidate in history, and then you go third party. Now remember, there are a lot of like right-winger conservatives who are anti-establishment, but they will never vote for Bernie because he's in the Democratic Party primary. And remember, guys, people got small imaginations. Imagine the shockwave that will be sent. Remember the conversation we had about forced to vote, where people don't understand the issue? Like if what would happen if the squad decide not to vote for Nancy? That would be a giant story that would send massive shockwaves. It's something that like the mainstream media can ignore, right? The same thing if Bernie ran third party. That is such a massive story. You can't do a Bernie blackout on that. Then there are a lot of people who probably just wouldn't vote for Bernie because he's a Democrat. These are people who's just like, fuck it, burn it down. Maybe they don't even care about Medicare fraud. They just kind of like, man, I don't want to support anything other than the system. They see Bernie run. They see the momentum, and Americans are bandwagoners. They see Bernie at 5%. They get 15%, which I think no doubt he would do. Then get on the debate stage, and hell, even if they deny him from the debate stage, massive story. Bernie Sanders denied from the debate stage.
Right.
The deadline. Then another discussion is taking place. These are the. And I'm saying Bernie will not win. He will not become president. Even if he got the most vote, they wouldn't allow him to, right? But these are the kind of mountainous shockwave events that we need to pull people away from the two-party system that we never had. We couldn't never develop these shockwaves because a lot of people in the position that could start them was cowards. They sold out.
That can produce these shockwaves. They're refusing it because of Bernie. Just think where the Green Party would have been in 2020 if Bernie Sanders did that in 2016.
That's why
it would be a completely different party. There would be a lot more states that's qualified. It would be completely different. And he chose not to do that.
That's why Cornel West told Chris Hedges. Chris Hedges said this all the time. Almost every interview he shared a story where Cornel West is like, Bernie misses historical moment, and that's such a great quote because the people without imagination, they can't imagine it. But look how much social like the Justice Democrats and DSA exploded because Bernie was a Democrat. God, just imagine, like there's no one like that in third party. Like once again, look at we all know the criticism that we have of Bernie, but the same could apply to anyone we have criticism of. Having someone with that name recognition, with who had the most donations of all time, going third party, and then once again, shockwaves. Just people who don't think. You can't think outside of just the initial political analysis, right? So Bernie quits the Democrat Party, go third party. That become the news around the world. And people asking him why. Why won't you support Hillary Clinton? Why will you do something so drastic as going third party? Then you bring up Hillary Clinton's record, how she destroyed Haiti. This is massive public education opportunity. These people don't think because it's all about their material. That's how we say. That's how you know we sell. People sell now. Like if you think long term, like once again, you have the media in the United States. They'll smear them like crazy, right? People in other countries, like this will be global news. People will be like, why is he doing this? Then people will learn about what Hillary did in Haiti. People will learn about the Clinton Foundation, the bride that took from Saudi Arabia. People will learn about Libya. The only thing it would take is Bernie would say this shit. He would go and put he go on CNN, primetime news. Bernie, why are you willing to allow Trump to win if you're running third party? Well, I understand you guys are concerned about Donald Trump, but the reason why I can't support Hillary Clinton, my conscience won't allow me to do that. Look at what Hillary Clinton did in Libya. Look at what she did in Haiti and how the Clinton Foundation defrauded them. Look at the war on poverty and the war on kids that the Clintons did in the 90s. They cut welfare. They cut entitlement programs. They deregulate. Like this is a massive education event. So that happens. We don't necessarily win. Imagine where we're at right now after this years of shakeup. Years of people like, man, maybe we should join this. Even people who don't agree with Bernie, but people don't like both parties. Like, man, maybe we should just join this side so we can fix this problem in this country. But this is the massive chance they squandered.
He squandered. But I was gonna say, and think about what would have happened, because you could people. Where is the energy most right now in politics? It's against Republicans from Republicans. It's against the Democratic Party from Democratic Party voters. So Bernie Sanders, who was able to collect this really group of people that nobody can reproduce, this coalition. Bernie Sanders was able to produce this coalition of people, conservatives, rural, urban, all together. And he took that to the Green Party. You mean to tell me more people would have been like, wait a minute, I'm out this bitch. I'm out, I'm going over here. More people, wait, they want this? They don't want people to do this? They're against war? People are really tired of war. They want to cut the war budget in half? Absolutely. You see? But Bernie picked himself over the people by saying, I don't want to end up like Ralph Nader and save the world. That's essentially what he said. I rather preserve my shit than to save a bunch, thousands, millions of people.
Think about the strategy of this too. How does this make sense? How does this make sense, guys? Polls show that most Americans are ready to vote third party. 50% of voters for the very first time are registered independent. So the momentum is there. Both parties are deeply unpopular. Joe Biden, the most unpopular president in modern American history. Kamala Harris, the most unpopular vice president in modern American history. The U.S. Congress is the least unpopular Congress we've ever seen. So AOC is unpopular. Her approval rating is around the same as Nancy Pelosi. Like, it's horrific. One of the reasons why that is fair or unfair. People associate her with the Democratic Party. People associate AOC with Biden in the Democratic Party because she goes on the news and say, well, I think Biden's doing a good job, right? So people associate her with the already failed institution of the Democratic Party. AOC could be way more popular if this scenario played out and then she joined the side of Bernie. Because then people wouldn't have the perception, AOC is just another Nancy Pelosi, because she would truly be independent. So instead of supporting the third wave that will make you popular now, they hitched their wagon, and they still continue to hitch their wagon on a massive unpopular party, the Democratic Party, which takes them down too with them. Which is why the strategy doesn't make sense. So it hurts the movement. But despite how unpopular AOC is, despite how unpopular these people are, they live a life of luxury. They are insulated. They live in these gated communities. They are surrounded by insiders that only prop them up. So essentially, they chose this privileged Washington life, even though they are hated by the proletariat, but they are insulated, so they don't get to hear it. They chose the Washington insider life over being beloved by the proletariat and helping out the proletariat. So how is that not as bad as someone who just outwardly sells out, like a Joe Manchin or a Kristen Sinema?